Today we sail into the Spanish mainland city of La Coruna, which is part of the Galicia municipality. In my opinion, on a cruise it is well worth getting up early and either finding a view from somewhere on the ship, or for us, our balcony, to savour the upcoming scenery of the new port for the day. Waking up to a new view is such a wonderful part of cruising, and there is no telling, unless of course you are experienced in the ship itinerary and have checked the weather forecast, if you will see the same view when you sail out later in the day. This must mean the pilot from La Coruna has boarded the ship to assist the captain in docking the ship safely in port. So enjoy with us the sunrise sail into La Coruna before we start exploring. Time for a quick breakfast before we set off for the day. Today we have an excursion booked and start our day in the ship's theatre to be allocated our bus number. I will go into the excursion and our thoughts on it in a future video. As our coach takes us to the first location, the Tower of Hercules, I can see that La Coruna has a lovely wide promenade that is perfectly flat and wide. There is also lots of shade, which is useful in the hot Spanish sun. Plus of course fab views of our ship. Here we pass the Castello de Santo Anton, a 16th century fortress. The Tower of Hercules has served as a lighthouse since the late 1st century. It sits on the entrance of La Coruna harbour in the northwest Spain, overlooking the Atlantic Ocean. The Tower of Hercules sits on a 50-metre high rock and itself is 55 metres high. The lower 34 metres were built by the Romans, and an additional 21 metres were added in the 18th century. The Tower of Hercules is on the UNESCO World Heritage List. On our excursion, we didn't get time to go right up close to the tower or to experience the magnificent views from the top, but for those that do, there are a total of 242 steps to the top of the lighthouse. As I said before, I'll go into the excursions and our thoughts on it in a future video. We pause briefly beside some gorgeous looking beaches before heading up to Monte de San Pedro and then continue to enjoy the lovely Atlantic views. For our final stop, we get to explore the top of Monte de San Pedro, which puts us in a great spot to view the Atlantic Ocean rugged coastline, and we can look back at the Tower of Hercules. Here at the top of Monte de San Pedro, along with the stunning views along this rugged Atlantic Ocean coastline, you will not be able to miss seeing the majestic coastal battery cannons. They are huge, and no doubt their presence here protected this part of the coastline. Interestingly, parts of these coastal battery cannons came from the English Cumbrian town of Barrow-in-Furness back in 1929. Due to their size and the feat to get them uphill, the cannons were only able to be moved around 200 metres per day from the port to the top of Monte de San Pedro. The cannons did their first test shots back in 1933, and between then and their last shots back in 1977, they have only ever fired 19 shots. Right, a quick trip through the city now, and it's time to get back on the ship. And finally, join us as we sail out of Laruna, with our next stop after a day at sea being Funchal, Madeira. Stick with us to the end of the video as we think we've captured a whale exhaling.